Hey, regular guy here. I think it's time to start getting after some videos again. I know it's been a while. I've kind of had a lot going on and I apologize. We moved, we built an addition on our house. We've kind of been going crazy, but things have calmed down and I think it's time to start doing some videos again. So once again, I'm working on my Dillon presses. I love my Dillon stuff. So this is a 650 press. This is a 5-station progressive press. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you through what I do for case prep. So I reload a little differently, I know. But basically what I've got cases. These are all 223 that have just, swept up off the range floor or whatever. I give them a good coating of my lube. If you haven't seen my video on lube, check that out. It's cheap, it lasts forever, and it's the best lube that I've found. So I've just given a good coating of that. Now on this Dillon press, I have a case feed on it. So I've got the case feeder set up. Now all I'm going to do is take this through, and you'll notice it's indexing and moving the cases through. And normally you're going to have different dies set up to kind of take you through the process, but all I'm doing here is sizing and depriming. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do all of those, size that case, and deprime it. As you can see, these are all sized and almost ready to go. Anyway, I'm going to finish this out and then I'll take you to the next step. Okay, so our next step, what we're going to do is we've got to go through and we've got to trim our cases. We've sized them and we've deprimed them is all. So the very first thing I'm going to do, I've got this cool little trimmer. This is from World's Finest Trimmer, Little Crow Gunworks. Highly recommend that. This one's dedicated to 223. I've also got one that you can switch out these little collets for different calibers, and then you set the bit to trim off the right length. I kind of like this because it's dedicated. I set it once, lock it all into place, and I don't have to touch it again. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to put our case in. It rides on a little bearing, and we're just going to spin it. Now most of these cases I've already trimmed and then my reloads, so it's not really taking off anything. There, that one took just a tiny bit off. But I'm going to go through each one, I'm going to check each case, and I'm just going to run it that quick. The next step is I'm going to check this is just a little, like a countersink tool. And sometimes, like, see this one right here has a crimped primer pocket. And all we need to do, I've got swages where Dillon makes a swage that's really nice that you can swage that primer pocket, it kind of rounds that edge. But all you really need, and this is just a little trick that I learned, is just to bevel that edge, just so the primer can get seated in there. And I kind of don't like to swage all the way in there because I find that the primer sits tighter if I just take that burr off. So I'm just going to go through these, and ones that need to be done, that one's crimped again. This isn't something that I have to do every time, because a lot of times I'm doing my cases that I've already done that too. But sometimes if you're sweeping up cases off the floor or whatever in your range and they've been crimped pockets, you'll need to do that. The last step is I just kind of want to deburr where we trimmed. So I kind of go on the inside and outside. And this is something that I do on each one. Just that simple. I'm going to go through this pile. Yeah, I'm going to be here for a minute. And then I'll take you back to the next step. Okay, so that process is done now. That took me about 45 minutes, so that's not too bad. There's probably 500-600 rounds here. I did want to make one note, so I only ended up doing that deburring probably to about 10%, and most of those looked like they were Lake City brass. I did want to note though, a lot of times the only time you really have to do that is if it's like a military spec ammo, and you're only going to find that in like a 5.56 or 223 or 308, 9mm, some of those more common rounds that manufacturers will do it to a military spec and they'll crimp that. And sometimes you'll see like a little green or a little red, it's a lacquer that they put in there to help seal it. So a lot of times you don't even have to do that. I did want to note occasionally, so I do a lot of like precision loading. This is 6.5 Creedmoor, and I'll go to a little more in-depth cleaning and case prep on something that's like an accuracy round. They have these cool little deburrs that'll go in and deburr the primer pocket. And I'll do that if it's around that I'm doing something I want really accurate. And then I'll go through and inspect the case a lot more. You can weigh your cases, you can check the thickness of the wall on some of your more precision stuff. But on a lot of stuff that I'm just going to plink, I'm going to take you through the process of what I do. So these we've sized them, deprimed them, and then we've deburred, trimmed them to length, and deburred that edge. That's pretty much it. Now we're going to start our cleaning process. So I'm going to take you back there. Okay, so now we're going to clean these cases. Now, this is the part of the video that I kind of wanted to highlight, and I don't know why it took me so long to kind of, I guess, decide to do this. I had a comment a while back on one of the videos about, have you ever tried stainless steel media? And I'm like, no, I haven't. There's so many things. I'm worried about it, blah, 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 whatever. I didn't like the idea of wet cleaning my cases. I'll tell you what, whoever that was that made that comment, thank you so much, because I finally did it, and it is the best way to clean your cases. So I'm going to show you how to do this real quick. So basically we've got our cases. These are the ones that we just took through that process. I'm going to load this up maybe halfway full, a little less than half. So this was, we were estimating this to be about 500-600 cases. So maybe we'll do, well, 300 cases or so, 400 cases. And basically what I've done is I've put that in here. This is our stainless steel media. This is what this looks like. So it's just little stainless steel, kind of little bars, little pins. I'm going to dump these in here. That's good. Okay, then there's this Lemon Shine, kind of a dishwashing detergent booster. I like to put a little bit of that in. Maybe a couple tablespoons is all, not much. Maybe, or sorry, that was about teaspoons. Maybe a tablespoon of Dawn. So a teaspoon or two of the Lemon Shine. And then maybe a tablespoon of Dawn dishwashing detergent. Now I'm going to go fill this about halfway with hot water, and I will be right back. Okay, so it's been just over half an hour. I think it's been about 35 minutes. So we'll cut this off. I'm just going to open this up. And then if I didn't tell you before, this is that stainless steel media, so it's STM, and this is the kit that comes with this, and they even have this cool little separator. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dump this into here. Okay, now I want to show you this brass. So check out how clean and how polished. The other thing that's really nice about these little pins is they get into the primer pockets and clean out the inside of the case as well as the outside of the case. And they really do a fabulous job. To separate it, all you do is put the top on this. And that is all there is to it. I'm going to take them and I'm going to rinse them out. But as you can see, those are nice clean cases, and that's only about 30 minutes is all that's required. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse them off really good. I'm going to go ahead and throw them in a little vibratory tumbler. with some polish on it, and just to give them kind of a final polish, but that's it. Those are ready to load at that point. So this is the last step that I like to do, and this is a cartridge case annealer. So these cases I just took out of the tumbler, and I let them tumble for maybe 30 minutes and put a little bit of a polish. Kind of helps keep them from getting fingerprints and stuff like that on them. And I like to put them through this annealer. Now this is from Giard Tool Company. Giard is spelled G-I-R-A-U-D Tool Company. It's just a Giard cartridge case annealer. If you search that up, you should be able to find it pretty easy. The reason why I do this, so we've got a hardened brass case. So all of our case is brass. Ooh, that one's hot. Grab one that's not hot. And so what we got, this is all hardened, but this tip right here is where a lot of our stress happens. And when we fire it, it expands, we size it, it crimps it down, and it creates a lot of stress on the case. So we want a hard brass, but then we want a soft brass on the end to help take up some of that stress. So that's why we do this. So what we're doing is it's indexing them down, drops them down, rolls the case, and heats the end. And we set it so it just at the point where it's just about to turn red, kind of red hot, and then drops it. And that's the perfect temperature. I can't remember the degrees. And the other thing that's nice, I think, is it gives us this nice bluing. I think they look pretty. Anyway, these cases are ready to go, ready to load. As with all of my videos, thanks for watching. I do things a little differently, I know. I've kind of developed a process of what works for me, but I love comments. I love hearing from other people that love to shoot and that love to reload. I feel like we have kind of a brotherhood out there. So if you have any cool tips, tricks, things that you like, leave me a comment. I'd love to check them out. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Thanks for watching. As with all my other videos, check them out. Anyway, stay safe. Happy shooting.